What's up, Internet? My name is Garden Sound. This is Garden Sound 365, the show where I write music every day for a year. Today is episode 86, and today is also Sunday, which means we're doing Style Guide Sunday. We're going to be analyzing Ratatat. I've got a couple of songs, 3 specifically, that I want to analyze by them. This was requested by my friend Matt Johnston, so Matt, how you doing, bro? But first, a couple of announcements. We've got a subscription drive going on for the month of November. The progress here has been kind of anemic, and I don't know whether it's because I'm not promoting it correctly or whether or not people just aren't helping. But for whatever reason, we have about 203 subscribers right now. We need 1,000 by the end of the month, and it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Looks like you guys don't want to see me shave my head. That's okay. That's all right. Subscription drive for November going on. If we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, I'm going to shave my head, and I'm also going to donate all of the ad revenue for November to the Movember Foundation. And go ahead and share this video wherever you'd like, doesn't matter where, and let's see if we can drum up some subscriptions and help some people out. Also, I'll be playing a show on the 26th, I believe. I'll be playing a show on the 26th of November at Iris, which is on Buford Highway in Atlanta. So, if you've got the night free, a little bit after Thanksgiving fun, bring your friends out. We'll be throwing down a DJ set. I'll be playing your favorite future bass, your favorite new trap, your favorite vapor trap. I got you. I started listening to Ratatat when I was about 15 or 16, and I was in school at a boarding school in Greenville. And my friend Patrick O'Neill, I don't know if he watches. I haven't heard from him in a long time. He introduced me to Ratatat, this cool band, a bass guitarist and a guitarist. And they do a bunch of layers and layers and loops and layers of really nice harmonies, really nice pads, guitars, and some hip-hop style percussion underneath that to form these just great kind of head bobbing music, yeah, it's cool. So we're going to be looking at a couple of songs by Ratatat today. We're looking at El Pico, looking at 17 Years, and we're also looking at Loud Pipes. Right, so I mean, let's jump into it and see what Ratatat's all about. Alright, here's your basic format for El Pico. We've got an intro that's relatively an acapella, right? So this serves as our A phrase. So this is verse 1, this is verse 2. So we've got A, we've got 4 bars of introduction. That's the very beginning of the song. That's the beginning 4 bars. And I'm going to count it as part of this because they actually repeat. So this is your phrase length right here. This is your A phrase. That has the same something Ratatat does a lot is they use repetitive bass lines. So the bass line is continuous for each of these 4. Each of these lines represents a repeat of the bass line, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats of that bass line. So 4, that idea repeats 4 times to make up the A phrase. And then we've got a bit of a reprise from that, so a bit of a pad section with a lot of those guitar swells that they like to use, where they hit a chord and then they barely bring in the swell with their volume pedal, right? That's what's going on here. You've got, again, 4 repeats of that. This is our B. Alright? Some people would call that a bridge. It could be a bridge, I don't know. But it's a B section. And then we have a C section, which is the chorus, or the drop, right here, which is the very intense bum ba da ba da ba bum bum ba 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 bum, that section right here. And this is actually interesting. Not only do they have the same length, the phrase length for each of these sections right here. All right. is 16 bars, okay? I'm gonna write that out down here. 16 bars, 16 bars, 16 bars. But the harmonic rhythm, or how fast the harmony changes, or how fast things repeat, is faster in the C section. And I think the reason they chose to do that is to give it more excitement. So it sounds more exciting for two reasons. One, there are literally more notes happening. Two, the harmonic rhythm is happening twice as fast, okay? So each of these little bars right here is actually 2 bars, and each of these represent 4. So we've got 2 different bars making up a 4-bar phrase, 4 bar, 4 bar, and then here, this is a borrow from B, all right? This is directly copied from the B section to round out that phrase. Then it repeats into verse 2. Okay, not really easy to do verse 1, verse 2 since there's no lyrics, but it repeats at a point, right? So you have a 4-bar phrase, 4, 4, 4, making a 16-bar chorus. So the chorus has a turn at the very end, borrowed from the B section. We go back around to number 2. All right, verse 2. Now this is interesting. Verse 2, I don't know why they did this. It might be just to add filler to their song because it wasn't long enough. But they've actually got 2 16-bar phrases making a 32-bar super phrase. And what's happening here is you have the same, hold on, get a different color. This right here and this, sorry, those are the same. And then this is the same harmonic content, the same chord structure, right? But borrowing the pad style from the B section of the first verse. So you've got these nice pads going on in here. Nice pads. Ah, chilling out. And then, again, the same thing, just almost a direct copy of the B section. And then you've got your C section here, right, on verse 2. But it only plays one repetition, and then it goes into what I call Ratatat's, like, I don't really know what to call this, but they do it in almost every song. They do it in Loud Pipes, and they do it in 17 Years. And it's essentially just a round out or a fade out. And I think it's because when they play on stage, they have to have lots of time to fade in the next song because they sort of do a quasi-DJ set. So I believe this is intentional and intended for use during performance because there's about a minute and a half of just the same shit over and over and over again at the very end, sort of like a tail. It's very common with tracks that are meant to be DJ'd. So this is El Pico. Let's move on to the next song. Alright, so that was El Pico. This song is called Loud Pipes. So glad we're doing this song because this showcases the same thing. It's a different sound. The harmonic rhythm is slower, but it's the same thing. The form, form is everything, guys. If you didn't think form was everything, let me show you why form is everything. Okay, so this is the song Loud Pipes by Ratatat, okay? It starts off with an 8-bar phrase that is just the very beginning, you know, it's the boom, 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 boom. That's this. So that's the bass line we're following. Again, I'm using repetition to the bass line because that's what they're doing. So we've got 8 bars of introduction, add a guitar layer, add a guitar layer, add a guitar layer. That's our introduction to the song. Then it goes into the B section. And the B section is 2 8-bar phrases joined together that increase in intensity by adding those swell guitar pads that we talked about in the last song, okay? So we've got a 8 times 4 is that 32. 32 bar 8 phrase, a 16 bar B phrase, and then we have a 16 bar chorus or C phrase. That's the whistle part, though. Right. That's the C phrase. Now, to build their second verse, okay, their second time through this, okay, this is pretty straightforward. So to build their second time through, verse 2, they take the fourth time through on the A section, all right here, and they take the second time through on the B section, and then they have another fade out. That's essentially a modified version of their C. This is the same thing that happened in El Pico. Exactly the same format, okay? 2 years difference between those two albums, same format. So what they did is they realized, oh crap, this form works and people love it. I like it, you all probably like it, so why fix something that ain't broke? You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how you can use form to your advantage. You find a form that people like, play the crap out of it. This is what Ratatat does. Why don't you do it?
I've been rapping for about 17 years, okay? I don't write my stuff anymore. I just take it from my head, you know?
This song is different, okay? This is the first track on their first album. So this song has a unique form, okay? It's not like the other two songs. And FYI, those other two songs that we talked about, most of Ratatat's songs are just like that, okay? This is the exception. So here's what we got. This is interesting. We've got the introduction right here. I've been rapping for about 17 years, okay? I don't write my stuff anymore. I just kick it from my head, know what I'm saying? I can do that, no disrespect, but that's how I am. I've heard this song a few times. So that's the introduction. And then you've got adding a guitar layer, again adding another guitar layer, again adding another guitar layer, and this makes up our A phrase, okay? Right here. This is a 16-bar A phrase. Then we've got the B phrase, which is a little bit less intense. This one has the bum. So this is the solo section. It's got the same harmonic rhythm as the A section, but it's different enough with the melodic content to be considered a B. We could consider this an A prime. I choose not to do that. We'll get back to that in a second. So B. B is going to be solo, repeating the same solo content right here. So B is, that's the guitar solo, repeat the solo, and then add a guitar layer and repeat that. So here we go. We have a 16-bar B phrase, all right? Then we've got this weird sort of hybrid of A and B, because it's using the as accompaniment, and melodic content on top of that is the solo. So we've got the accompaniment using A and the solo from B. That's why I consider these to be A and B, because here they're combined to make more or less A prime, right? So here's where I'm going to consider A prime. Got it? So A, B, A prime. Then we have a C section, which is a build, and this is them doing the click 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 click, the chunky kind of guitar chops, and that happens for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's 8 times 4? 32. 32 bars, and it builds in intensity, and it keeps going until we get to yet again our Ratatat fade out, which is D. And the reason I'm not calling that A prime, B prime, C prime is because D is distinctly unique. It is quieter and it fades out and allows them to then take the album. This is genius. The album itself, okay, has this large scale format for intensity, where the second track is going to be a little bit more subdued. So how do they get from all this energy for the album, how it starts, to a secondary, to their second track that's a little bit more subdued? Well, obviously, they're just going to curtail and get it down, 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 bring the intensity down, then the second track. This is thinking about an album as an entire piece of work and not as just song and song and song, okay? So, here you go. This is different than the other two tracks. And it stands out in my mind, and it's one of my favorite tracks that Ratatat ever made. So today we're going to be writing some Ratatat music. Now, key things about Ratatat that we've gone over already is that they've got that form where you have A, B, C, A prime, B prime, C, and then fade out. So that's what we're going to be doing. All right, and we're going to be using just some mostly guitar and electric bass, because those are the instruments they use to create these songs, is mostly guitar and bass. 154. Let's see how long this takes me. Alright, let's grab guitar. That's our line right there. So we've got that. Alright, so we've got all the components now to build a Ratatat song, and you realize that all we really need is an A and a B section, because that's all they use, and they take the C section, which is pieces of the A and B section, make an A and B prime, make a C prime, call it a day. What time is it? It is 2. We've been at this for a half an hour. Let's see if we can finish it up in 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife Caroline.
I brought coffee.
You brought coffee?
I tasted it to make sure that it was
Isn't she the
yummy and not too hot. You should try that.
Doesn't it sound like Ratatat? See if I can finish it in 15. Cheers. If you like what I do, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. And if you have friends you know that would like this, tell them about it. As always, my name is GARDNSOUND. Fresh beats in the description below. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow.